You ready to get rolling? Nice to meet you. Okay. Good afternoon. We got the mic on? Hear it?
Hold it closer.
All right. Oh, there it goes. I hear it now. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to our Kiwanis meeting. And I'll call Sarah Beth up to do the pledge and inspirational moment. She's very inspiring, so listen carefully.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, everyone. So I had a CLE for attorneys.
Have a seat.
Oh, yeah, have a seat. Sorry. I had a CLE with John Thunheim a few weeks ago about hope. And so I kind of wanted to do a quote about hope, because that's what really Kiwanis is about, right? Is bringing hope and inspiration and help to our community. And what's interesting about the presentation from John Thunheim was you can't just have hope alone, right? To make it quantifiable, you have to have a pathway, a goal to reach whatever that hope is, and you have to have action. You can't just sit there and think about it. You have to actively get up and do something to make that hope become a reality. So this is the quote that I want to use today. It says, "The best way to not feel hopeless is to get up and do something. Don't wait for good things to happen to you. If you go out and make some good things happen, you will fill the world with hope. You will fill yourself with hope." And I think that's exactly what Kiwanis does and what we do when we meet with each other and we volunteer.
Looks like we have a few guests today. We want to introduce our guests. Sean, go ahead and then we'll go with Karen.
Yes, I want to introduce my friend Paul Barrett. I think you all know Paul very well. He's been in our Olympia community for many years and is a candidate for council for the city of Olympia.
All right.
My guest again today is Tom White, who is in the process of becoming a member. Yay! And Tom and his wife and family are resettled here in Olympia after he was unceremoniously let go from USAID.
Look back.
Hi, I'd like to introduce my guest, Carrie Ann O'Donnell, who is my neighbor across the street from me. But despite that being famous for that, she's also a talented musician, and she works for the Department of Health. And if you're really nice to her, she might come in.
All right. Better. All right.
Fellow Kiwanians, I'd like to reintroduce Ken Wilbrick. He's a member of a Pennsylvania Kiwanis Club. Visited us before and is back with us today. Ken, welcome.
Very good. Well, I get the privilege of introducing our guest today, and I think he's got some guests too, so I'll just introduce our main guest, and then he'll introduce the others. Antonio McLennan has been Olympia School District for about a decade now, have you?
Yes.
Close to it. And he's been all over. He's probably one of the more famous people in the Olympia School District because people know him, the term kid magnet. That means that students really connect with him unlike most any other person we have in the district. So he's got really great relationships with students all throughout the district. He worked in our building for a long time and was a very all-purpose guy. Again, in the lunchroom, you see all different kinds of students connected with him. And that led him to the district office working on a program he's going to talk about today. He's a 2008 graduate of the Evergreen State College.
All right.
He's also been a starter for the faculty-student basketball game, which really helps us a lot. He's worked in nonprofits, in several different nonprofits and several different schools. So please welcome Antonio McLennan.
John.
How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Good. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. I don't take that lightly, so I want to thank each and every one of you for your time. And feel free to kick me out of here if I talk too much. So again, thanks for the great introduction, Matt. My name is Antonio McClinton. First and foremost, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a brother, and I am the best basketball player in my family. And also a proud alum from the Evergreen State College. Just on going back in history in terms of Evergreen, that experience has been amazing just in terms of what it did for me in the moment and what it's doing for me now in the future. And because of that experience and the lessons learned and skill set, I'm able to bring that to the Olympia School District and as well to the Student Mentor Program. I'll get right to it. What is the Student Mentor Program in the Olympia School District? It's an opportunity to build students' leadership capacity. It's an opportunity for students to connect with one another on a peer-to-peer mentorship basis. And it's also an opportunity for adults such as yourself, adults in the community, as well as staff to support our students. Now, in terms of particular students, as we all know, Olympia is not a very diverse place. The Student Mentor Program is a great space for students who feel underrepresented, right? To develop those skills, but it's not limited to just students of color in terms of the Student Mentor Program. The Student Mentor Program is co-created also by students, and there's 3 core values that the students talked about when we got together to create this program. And those 3 core values, and please remember them, it's community, and Kiwanis has a community here, right? Connections, right? And confidence, right? So those 3 core values are essential foundation to our program. In terms of how long the program's been around, we are starting our 5th year, and the things we do. So I'd like to transition in terms of how the program operates. The program operates in 4 key elements, as we call it. We call it the student club group, affinity groups, where students from a variety of clubs get support from adults across the district as well as the community. We have our student mentor leadership team, where we meet monthly and we work on very specific skills that the students identify. Right? And again, I hope you all are picking up on the theme in terms of this program being student-centered. We don't do anything without the students' input. But I will say this, it's not, hey, here's the keys to the car, go ahead and drive it, right? Because we know how that goes when, who remember their first car here? Anyone want to share what their first car was?
Pontiac Catalina,
Okay.
1964.
Now, how old were you?
16.
Okay. Now, watch this. How much trouble did you get into?
Not much. It ran once and died in my driveway.
Man, oh, okay. Anyone has a more exciting story and that's willing to share some of the trouble they got into, that's appropriate. Yes.
Well, I had a 49 Chev, fastback, no paint, and I never got into any trouble.
Wink, wink. I saw that. Nice. One more person. Yes, sir.
I had a 1932 Model A pickup.
Okay.
It wouldn't go very fast, but one time I tried to drag race a friend in his Model A, and we didn't get very far.
Okay. Nice. Now, thank you all for sharing that. So when you think of the Student Mentor Program, think about it as students' first opportunity to drive, right? To drive their life, right? For some students, it's the first. For some, they have that background already, right? So what we really do, we provide that space where the students can drive safely, right? And not drag race, okay? And learn in a very comfortable environment, right? And as you know, school districts and schools have leadership opportunities, right? But there's only so much space, right? Just in terms of student capacity and things like that, right? So again, going back to just a review, we have student clubs, We have our student mentor leadership team. And the third way our program operates is that we partner with all 3 local colleges' student athlete programs, right? Where the student athletes volunteer their time within our district, right? So for example, about 30 minutes ago, just got off the phone with the head coach at St. Martin's University. They've been volunteering in our schools for the last 3 or 4 years. And their presence, just in terms of being in our buildings, whether it's the elementary, middle, and high school, it goes a long way, right? And then the last component, which is the 4th one, is that last year we piloted a college internship opportunity where we were fortunate to have 4 interns intern within our program, right? So when you look at this student mentor program from the 4 different components, it really builds community, it really builds connections, and it really builds confidence. And all of those things were co-created by the students, right? So I'll stop there and answer any very specific questions. I had this presentation, but just in terms of today, I think the best use of our time today is just really having a conversation about some of the things I just mentioned. Yes, ma'am.
Is this open to kids regardless of their grades, or what to their grade status?
Grade status don't matter. We serve students K-12. So for example, how a kindergarten can experience our program, our student athletes that come from the 3 colleges of the Evergreen State College, St. Martin's, and South Puget Sound, we have a read aloud opportunity where the student athletes will come and read to the kindergartens, right? So regardless of grade, from kindergarten to senior, there's opportunities within the program to serve all students.
Are students choosing to enter the program, or how does that get started?
Great question. So from an elementary level, we have student clubs at the elementary level that serves 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And in turn, we support the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders to practice those leadership skills throughout their whole school. So directly and indirectly, it really serves all students. Did that answer your question?
Kind of. So
Okay.
how are you choosing the students?
How am I choosing?
Yeah, are you choosing them, or do they have
Students choose themselves.
Okay.
Right? Because one of the things just in my experience in education, which hasn't been a lot, is that sometimes when, I don't want to say you force students into particular programs or you're constantly recommending, they don't necessarily always have the greatest experience. So one of the things we do, and we're very intentional, is that we provide this opportunity. We communicate with students and families, hey, we have this opportunity within our program, and then students will tell their parents from an elementary level, hey, mom or dad or guardian, I want to be a part of this. How can I be a part of it? And we'll have that conversation to make sure it's a good fit.
I'm thinking because so I represent kids in foster care
Yes.
through the court system, and many of them are of color, and so I think this would be great for them.
Yeah, and that would be,
Yeah.
because we're open to expanding our community partnership, which is another reason why I'm here today too. So that could definitely be a conversation we can have.
Cool.
Yeah.
Talk to you after this.
Thank you. No, you had a question? And then-
I just was wondering what type of volunteer commitment is favorable? Do you stay on with the program for the school year, or how does that work?
That's a great question, and thank you so much for that. So in terms of commitment, we have a variety of commitments from a variety of community partners. So for example, when we have activities and events, and I'm going to highlight Joellen here. A few years ago, we had our gifts exchange activity and event. She volunteered to help wrap. You want me to answer that? Totally joking. She helped wrap. I mean, we wrapped a ton of presents, right? But that was like 2 to 3 hours, right? So anytime we have any events or activities, we'll definitely reach out for volunteers for that specific event and activity. That way, we don't create this disappointment for the students when they're expecting certain adults or community members to be a part of something and they can't make it. So, yes. So I'll come here, then I'll go around. Yes, sir.
You mentioned you had college interns.
Yes, sir.
Do you work with the legislature at all with these internships?
Tell me more about that question.
The legislature has a very extensive intern program for college students. I'm just curious if you've connected with them yet.
I have not.
I would highly suggest it.
Is that something you can help me facilitate? And
Absolutely.
perfect. There we go.
Program.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, then I'll come back here.
Who won the student-teacher basketball
You
game?
know the answer to that.
Faculty and staff are undefeated, but we're quite modest.
Yes, yes.
I put in every presentation I give.
And that's one of the things when you talk about community connection and confidence, right? So being a part of that and participating and engaging in an event like that really helps build that relational capacity. And in other words, building relationships with students, right? So, and that's definitely an event that I really take pride in, meeting the students. We got here now.
I just wondered how you were funded.
That is a great.
Where does the money come from? I want all this great stuff.
That is a great question, and unfortunately, due to our education budget shortfalls, and it's not just only to the Olympia School District, but statewide and national-wide, there's little to no funding just in terms of outside of my role. An opportunity that we want to create is, and we're going to pilot a fundraiser this year. Our students are going to plan it. We're going to really start connecting more and more with the community so the community can invest in the future of the students that live in their community. So we're hoping to start a solid fundraising campaign.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yep. And then to go along that, our biggest need in terms of funding is that our student leadership team, which is one of the 4 components of our program, they actually get paid. Right, so in terms of learning hard and soft skills related to financial literacy, clocking in, clocking out, communicating, it is a real job for some of our students. So that's our biggest expenses paying our student leaders. Yes.
Thank you.
In my experience, one of the features of a successful mentoring program is that the mentoring relationships are quite stable.
Yes.
How do you advance that as a feature of
That is a great question, and I'm super excited to answer that. So when this program started right around COVID, one of the things that the students and myself really talked about was the consistency of mentors, right, in a community. And one student was like, hey, we can support each other, right? So the biggest component of our mentoring program is our peer-to-peer mentoring. It's the teach the teacher model, right? So when we're going back to our student mentor leadership team, they have the opportunity to learn hard and soft skills. So for example, 2 weeks ago, we held our training at Olympia High School, which is super awesome. But we had 2 former Olympia High School students come back and create a workshop on community and confidence, right? And again, when you talk about the sustainability of mentoring, the peer-to-peer, it is a core foundation. And then we sprinkle in the adults once in a while, but that sprinkle of adults is really our team mentoring piece that we meet the adults where they are because they do have other priorities. So to answer your question, thank you. Thank you.
So you might have answered my question a moment ago on the budget.
Okay.
Well, I was going to ask you, what are the challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis? What do you see as kind of the principal challenges of the work that you do, and maybe some of the emerging challenges that weren't expected?
Okay, great question, and thank you so much for asking that. So from a program coordinator position, it's capacity, right? So our second year, we were in we served 90 students. Our second year, you fast forward now, we're serving over 250 students per year, right? So when you talk about that growth increase, when you grow a program, you're really supposed to increase by 10%. We've exceeded that. So in 4 years, we've been able to serve over 800 students. So just in terms of keeping up with the need and the student need, that's a huge one. So I would say capacity. We're working in our district in terms of how we can spread out that capacity. Just in terms of other adults and staff within within our program, 90% of the other staff already have full-time jobs, right? So if they're called to do something, then it falls on me, right? So to answer that question directly, from a capacity standpoint, that's the biggest challenge. Financially, it's really students and myself reaching out to community members when we have events and activities like, hey, is there anyone that you can direct me to fund this activity that costs $500 or something like that. So now we're in a position where we're going to have a website within the next 2 weeks. It's going to have all of our information there, as well as how folks can donate financially. Okay. Answer your question? Okay, cool. I'll take a couple more questions and then now end with one more statement. Yes. Yes.
How many clubs are there at Olympia right now in the high school?
Particularly, I don't know if I can answer that, but there's a lot of different clubs and opportunities for students.
In our school, we have 54.
54?
Yes. Yes.
Do they all require some kind of community liaison outside of the district? You know, like like we do with, like Joe Ellen and helps out with the tea club there.
So it's optional, and that's a great question. So in terms of the clubs that are part of the mentor program, they're opting in, right? So clubs have opportunities to be a part of the program, and some clubs choose to be a part of it, and some clubs don't. Did I answer your question? Okay. Cool. Yes.
You said you're looking for former Olympia High School students to come back and speak to your group. Is that right?
That can be arranged. So just in terms of how we plan our activities and events, our student mentor leadership team, we just did our training. We're finalizing our schedule and our needs in terms of guest speakers, right? So for example, the example that I shared earlier, we had 2 former Olympia High School students come and do our training. And it's not just limited to just Olympia High School, but we're in both of our comprehensive high schools, so like Capital and obviously Olympia. But if there's a connection, I can see the wheels are turning over there for you. We definitely can make that connection.
I've got 2 Ole High School graduates in the performing arts profession, and they'd be delighted. I'm volunteering them. They'd be delighted to come and speak to your groups.
Okay.
If you want.
Okay, cool.
And if you need somebody on the political side of things, if I'm still around, I'd be happy to myself.
Okay, cool. How about we start with you, so that way, no, seriously, just in terms of building relationships with students, right? So one of the things we're very, very cognizant of and very intentional is that relationship building. It's the capacity of your relationship, and we cannot get anything done or move the needle in terms of students' personal and academic success without that relationship piece. So other than that, that's my spiel today. I really appreciate everyone's time. I'll be around until 1 if you have any questions, and really humbled and honored to be here to speak with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We also have a couple guests here, and my apologies. So we have a student, Lila. She's also a part of the program. And then we also have Courtney Martin, which is in our communications department. And they're here as for moral support, but also it's a great opportunity to see more of the community, right? Put names and faces and things like that. So for example, Lila, this is her 2nd year in the program. I'm going to speak and then let me know if I'm wrong. But it's her 2nd year in the program. I met Lila when she was in 8th grade, right? And really talked about the program and was very curious about starting a club at her respective school within our district. And it didn't happen during the 8th grade year, but during her 9th grade year was very instrumental in terms of supporting that club at her middle school, right? So when you talk about developing leaders, Lila is a great example, and especially at a very young age and pivotal moment during her life in high school is how do you give back? How do you do something more than yourself, right? So, and I think I'm within my right to say this, like our students embrace this program if it's theirs. The running joke is, I want them to run me out of a job, work me out of a job. And what that tells me is that they've embraced the program so much and committed to the program so well that they don't need me, right? So I am honored to work for you and with you. So Lila, thank you.
Just a couple things. They had a celebration of all the different clubs and members of the mentor program at Capitol last year. And just hearing the testimonials, like basically the students kind of ran the show, and they talked about, how they found a place to get engaged. And like at schools, it can be very impersonal when they're very big. And getting clubs started and having mentors out there supporting the youngers, I think really makes a big difference in our district. So it's that, if you want to be student-centered, you got to get students at the, in the front. And Antonio's done a great job of that. Another thing, just a story on the side here. I don't know if you know about unified sports, but we have unified sports, or when you combine students who have profound disabilities with basic ed students and you do sports together. It's become a very big thing. But they did a Pack the Gym night. Antonio used his contacts at all the colleges. He got, businesses coming in. We have great basketball teams. The biggest audience, the probably best audience we've ever had was when we had the Pack the Gym night. We still do it every year. It's a great tradition, great example of the kind of mentorship. He does other kinds of mentorship now, but it's the kind of experience firsthand that we still have today. And lots of clubs, so lots of great things. Anyway, thanks a lot to all three of you for being here. Let's see, we have some time for happy dollars and announcements. Come on up and tell us what's making you happy. I can start. We had orientation on Friday, and we had 520 freshmen show up. It was the biggest freshman class since I've been there. Fantastic behavior. Looking forward to this year's class. Start very soon. So that's my happy.
Good afternoon, Derek Valley. Antonio, thank you very much for that presentation. One of your fellow teachers, Blue Pete's, is going to be the subject of my little presentation today. And I've got some. It's going to be a show and tell also. Last fall in October, Blue Pete's and the Freedom Farmers pulled apart garlic cloves and planted garlic in our garden at the East Capitol campus. Those garlic grew last fall and the spring, and they've been harvested. We've got a lot of them, and we're starting to clean them up. If you're interested in helping cleaning up garlic, that will then go to the food bank, and it will look like this. Come on over to the West Side Garden on Saturday morning from 9 to noon. You can help do that. There's plenty of opportunity there. The Freedom Farmers are a valuable group of kids, and Blue Pete's and the camaraderie that those kids have together is just really amazing. Fortunately, we were able to use them or have them come and help us in our Kiwanis Food Bank garden. And this summer, probably early July, they helped us harvest all these garlic, and we'll come back. They're lined up to help dig potatoes at the Capitol campus, and then also replant some new garlic for this next year for the food bank. Food bank gardens are going well. Jess Colson, Willow, Jules, and Ethan are working with us on a part-time basis, and Jess is a full-time person. They're probably at a little over 25,000 pounds of vegetables contributed to the food bank so far. We're in a little bit of a lull right now. We're doing a lot of weeding in preparation for fall harvest, and we'll have lots more food of fall vegetables, including potatoes, carrots, and cabbage, and so on and so on, pretty soon. So thank you very much.
Hi, Don Lewis. A couple happy dollars. Next week, I'm off to Alaska for my annual fishing trip, which should be really good. And yesterday, I went to the Mariners game. My daughter was singing the 7th inning stretch, and I got to see Cal Raleigh hit his 2 home runs.
Mark Johnson, happy that I have a friend like Bob to help me get 12 loads to the Goodwill. Where are you, Bob? Bob, you left. Oh, he went to the bathroom. Anyways, Bob's a great friend, and he took 12 loads to the Goodwill and probably 6 loads to the dump, and my house is finally cleaned out, and hopefully the person that said they'll buy it will buy it. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking to Kathy real soon here, and moving to Palm Springs. So my 2 weeks turned into 2 months. I was hoping to be done and gone in 2 weeks, but now it's been 2 months. So you're stuck with me until I get rid of my house. Anyways, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Hello, Kathy Thompson here, and I would like to invite you all to an estate sale at Don Law's house on Friday, the 12th, on East Bay Drive, from 3 to 7, and then Saturday from 10 to 3, and all the proceeds from those 2 sales go to Kiwanis. So it's really, really nice. And then we'll open up and do an estate sale the next weekend to everybody. But we'll send out an email and let everybody know. So anyway, yeah, that was very, very nice of them to do. So we'll send that email out. And I don't have $1, so sorry.
Karen Fraser here, and I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for coming to our fabulous picnic. We had about 40 people. Weather was perfect. Mount Rainier even showed. And people told me they had a chance to visit people they don't usually get a chance to visit, which is one of the whole ideas of this. So I'd like to say special shout out to key people who helped with logistics. KT and Kim Thompson, Sean and Dan Myers, and Anna Knudsen. And thank you, Jonathan, for organizing a coordinating meeting so we could organize all this. So I'm going to put in some happy dollars for a wonderful picnic. Thank you.
Here's my $1 from Mark.
And I got one out for you too. Joel Hansen, a couple of happy dollars. First, there was a mention of salmon, and my Cub Scout salmon fundraiser is on again. I just got another 200 pounds of salmon fillets from my friend who goes up to Bristol Bay and catches it every year. I've sold some salmon for to raise money for the Cub Scout pack to some of the folks in the room, and I've gotten feedback that some folks say it's the best salmon they've ever had. I had some at the picnic the other day, and I thought it was pretty good, and I cooked it. So if somebody that knows how to cook cooks it, it'd probably be really good. And so the salmon fundraiser is ongoing. If you want to buy salmon, I've got 200 pounds of fillets from Bristol Bay that I would love to sell you, and $16 a pound, and $8 from every pound goes directly to the Cub Scout pack. So that's super generous of my friend David Nickel that catches the fish and gives it to me at a huge discount. And then the other happy dollar I have is for the South Sound Block Party was this last weekend at the Port Peninsula. It was the 4th year, a big music event, and I got to meet the woman who produces the show, and some interesting things that she told me. The budget for the event was $300,000 was spent on the event. $100,000 was for the talent, but the next biggest line item was $50,000 in wages that she paid. And another really interesting thing, the hotel that she booked for the event was completely sold out. She had to book more hotel rooms for it, so it was a big benefit to our community. And for every $1 in ticket sales, this is from the National Academy of Arts, for concerts and art programs, $14 in additional revenue to the community where the event is held. So that's really awesome. And another cool thing, this year the entire concert was run without diesel generators. Sunbelt Rentals gave access free to batteries that powered the entire concert. All the loud music that you may have heard if you live on the water was completely powered without any fossil fuel for the first time, and that is going to be an ongoing thing moving forward. So really exciting event.
Hello, it's Joellen here. My first happy dollar is that the South Sound Block Party is over because it was so loud. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It was fine. It only is for one day or two. That's really for taking my daughter to college. She's out of the nest, as we say, and it's hard, but it's good. And so happy to share that. I have a second happy dollar that my son is starting middle school, 8th grade tomorrow, or today. No, he's at orientation right now. I ended up being the PTA leader. I don't know how. So if you don't see me around, it's because I'm PTA president at Roos Middle School. So, and last happy dollar. Thank you, Antonio, for being here, for sharing about students, because that is our work, the youth in our community. So I'm grateful for your presence here and for sharing about what the good work is that's happening.
Hi, Sarah Beth Hewitt again, Dave Peeler's daughter, and I'm doing a shameless plug for my dad. So this coming weekend is Harbor Days. Yeah, and you know, Kiwanis used to sponsor it. Now it's the Maritime Association. That's why my dad's not here today, is he's actually at a warehouse taking stuff out to prepare for this weekend. So I invite you all to come out to Harbor Days and have a good time this weekend. Thank you.
Sam Reed, happy dollar to the inimitable Karen Fraser, who was so generous once again and so gracious to open her home, her beautiful lawn, to make Mount Rainier appear. And thank you so much, Karen, for doing this again.
Anything else for the good of the order? Okay, gosh. We have an installation dinner organizing group meeting a week from Thursday. No, it'll be a week from Thursday on September, is that 3rd? 4th. September 4th at 5:30 in Olympia High Commons. So if you want to be help us organize that. Students take on a lot of that load, but it's very helpful to have some Kiwanis mentors there today. So I'd love to have you there. We're working with both our key clubs there. A lot of work to be done in a very short time. So I'd love to have you if you're available. I think that may be it. Just thank you so much for our guests coming today. Great to have you here, and nice to see you all. Enjoy the summer day. It's a great day. Oh, I got to shake the can. What am I thinking? This can's empty. I better put something in it. So if you've got opportunity to help us prevent childhood cancer, how about some change or dollar bills in there? It'd be great to have it. Oh, and the raffle, Kurt.
Eric Valley.
Whoa.
Here.
To the garden.
Goes to the garden. Okay. That, I think, is it. Have a great day.
Thanks, Sarah Beth. That was great.
Yeah.